you guys doing today? So, it's been a long week. It's actually been a long couple weeks, and I've had a lot going on lately. But your boy is still here. I'm still going to be posting. I'm still doing my thing. So, sorry I didn't post in the last couple of weeks. I have been going rampant with school, work, and just a lot of other things. I have a fitness exam and everything coming up, so I have been like locked in with a lot of other things. But I'm back. I'm focused. I'm about to really lock in. We're just gonna get into it immediately because, I feel like I've been denying people these episodes, and I'm sorry. But we're gonna get right in. We're gonna start with episode 3. Man, I'm actually excited for this episode because it does touch base on a lot of good information I feel like a lot of people can relate to. So this one is on all about Jesus fulfills the law. And I'm actually excited about this one. So yeah, you know what? Let's not even waste. Let's get into it.
We're exploring a well-known collection of teachings by Jesus called the Sermon on the Mount.
Jesus spent most of his time with the poor and insignificant people of his day, and he claimed that God's rescue of the world was beginning through him and them.
What was God rescuing the world from?
Well, it's a rescue from the kind of world we've created by our selfishness and our contempt for others that leads to violence, and it's a rescue into communities of wholehearted love and respect. Jesus described this way of life by using an ancient biblical word, righteousness. A righteous person is someone who consistently does right by God and right by others. Jesus said, those who live this way are entering the kingdom of the skies.
Okay, but life is messy. In any given situation, how are we even supposed to know what it means to do right by everyone?
Yes, that is the question. So remember, Jesus was an Israelite, and the people of Israel had a specific answer to that question that was simple and profound. To do right by God and people, you need to learn God's wisdom.
And how do you get God's wisdom?
Well, for Israelites, you find God's wisdom by meditating on their scriptures, called the Torah and Prophets.
Now, question. I do have a question, and you guys can answer this in the comments. How many people still follow these laws today? How many people still follow the Torah? If I'm not mistaken, and please do not bash me, Torah, that is the beginning books of the Bible, the Old Testament, if I'm not mistaken. Or is it? I feel terrible. I feel so horrible. I ain't gonna hold you. I didn't know about the Torah. I didn't even understand what that meant a while ago. So I really just learned about it not too long ago. So don't beat me up, folks. I really did just learn about it not too long ago. And I can't, I'm about to say, I can't short screen it. Let me see. The Torah. What section of the Bible is the Torah? Oh, I was right. Yeah, the first 5 books of the Bible. Okay, I was right. Cool. Whew. The Old Testament. Old Testament is the Torah. All right. Yeah. I wonder how many people still. I love reading Genesis. That's one of my favorites. But I think my favorite book is the Book of Samuel. Yeah, I think it's Samuel that I'm referencing. All right, but let's get back in focus.
That's the first 5 books of the Bible.
Right. In Hebrew, Torah means teaching, though it's often translated in our Bibles as the law.
But these books aren't just laws.
Right. The Torah is a story about God's plan to partner with humans in ruling the world. And when humans ruin that partnership through stupidity and violence, God begins a rescue plan. First, by choosing and then rescuing the Israelites, and then by inviting them into a covenant relationship.
Right, the story of Moses on Mount Sinai. That's where they get all these commands to live by.
Yeah. Now, after the Torah come the prophets, who continue the story.
So I recently just, oh my bad. I recently just purchased this off of Amazon because I was actually questioning what were exactly the Ten Commandments. I didn't remember them. I didn't fully know them. So I went on Amazon and I got me the 2 tablets, and I think it's pretty dope. So I think it's pretty cool because this is literally what they look like. These are the 2 tablets of the Ten Commandments. I thought this was awesome, as well as I have a tall cross in the corner. I'll probably show that in another video. But yeah, man, I look at these. I try to read them every morning and just making sure I'm following what I'm supposed to be following. And you know, they keep me grounded. They keep me grounded. They help me, make sound decisions every day. So I'm trying to make sure I keep that in mind, making sound decisions, watch what I say, watch what I do. But please understand, I'm human just like anybody else. I still make mistakes. I still sin, but I continue to ask for repentance, and I continue to just try my best to move forward. So yeah, man, it's not the easiest thing in the world, but hey, and I'm glad I bought this because it does help me stay focused. Sorry if you see this thing right here. I just got done building my grill. So yeah, I haven't taken it outside yet. I build everything in the house, then I roll it outside. I'll put these, well, I'm gonna just put these right here. They're metal. They're not really gonna break. Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and get back to it.
They show how Israel failed to live by God's wisdom by violating those commands. But they also wrote poetry about how that failure was not the end of the story. God was going to bring this partnership to its fulfillment. And for Jesus and his people, the Torah and the prophets, they reveal God's wisdom to anyone who will meditate on them day and night.
Okay, but let's go back to all those commands. How do you find God's wisdom in an ancient law code?
Yeah, totally. The laws in the Torah were ancient even to Jesus, given centuries earlier when the Israelites could live free on their own land. But in the time of Jesus, they were occupied by the Romans. They couldn't even follow many of the laws as originally stated.
Okay, so that's a problem.
And on top of that, the 613 laws in the Torah are not a comprehensive rule book. And so there arose teachers of the Torah called scribes and Pharisees, and they would fill in the gaps by discerning God's wisdom underneath the laws, so they could apply it to other areas of life. For instance, the Torah said Israelites should stop working 1 day a week.
Right, but what counts as work?
Well, the Torah doesn't actually give a full definition, and so the scribes would study the scriptures and provide.
I'm assuming that we follow this, right?
That people could live by.
They're applying God's wisdom to everyday life so they can do righteousness before God and others.
Right. Now, Israel's teachers didn't always agree with each other, and Jesus would often wade into these debates, sometimes agreeing and other times disagreeing with the scribes and Pharisees.
And that would make them worry. Maybe Jesus doesn't take the Torah and the prophets seriously enough.
And so Jesus responds to this concern in the Sermon on the Mount when he says, "Don't suppose that I've come to dismantle the Torah or the prophets. I haven't come to dismantle them, but to fill them full."
What does that mean? That Jesus came to fill the Torah and prophets full?
Well, remember, the scriptures tell the story about God's plan to partner with Israel and all humanity in ruling the world. And Jesus claimed that he was taking that story forward, showing how to be righteous and live by God's wisdom.
That's quite a claim.
Yes, Jesus even said that his vision of righteousness was more in line with God's wisdom than anyone else in his day. He said, "Unless your righteousness far surpasses that of the scribes and Pharisees, you won't enter the kingdom of the skies."
That's intense.
It is. But as we'll see, Jesus is offering a bold and beautiful vision of human life. How to build healthy communities and heal broken relationships, and how to transform hostility into honor and respect.
which is great, but can you give me an example?
Actually, Jesus is going to do just that in 6 case studies. Each time he'll quote a command from the Torah and then explain how it reveals God's wisdom, so that we can learn how to consistently love God and do right by our neighbor.
That was a lot to unpack there. I hope overall, I didn't do a lot of yapping in this one. I did some, but I really wanted people to learn on this one. I wanted people to actually see stuff on this one. I didn't want to yap too much and stop the video too many times. I'm practicing on that as well throughout these videos and these creations. But if I did want to ask a question, if you guys had any key points that you felt was important during this video and that you feel like reflects in your own everyday life, put it down in the comments. I would love to have that discussion with those who feel that this impacts them in some form of way. I would love to know. And plus, it helps me, understand how God works in other people's lives. You say God bless you, and then you say, you pray for folks, but you never really understand how exactly, God is working in somebody else's life unless they tell you. So, I would like to know. I have my own ways that God's working with me every day. Man, I feel like my guardian angel be tired of me some days, but hey, I'm gonna continue to do my best to follow and do what I got to do, because it's important, man. I'm trying to make it to heaven. I ain't trying to be down here for them 7 years of tyranny. I ain't trying to be here, bro. I ain't trying to do it. But overall, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys learned something important from this video. And yeah, man, I thank you. I thank you all for watching, man. It's not easy doing this all the time, but I'm gonna continue my best to try to knock these out, because I want to get through this story and start on other stories. And I will be posting videos of other stories as well, because I thought to myself, it probably helps some other people out to be able to engage on multiple different subjects. So I'm not just gonna be just doing the Sermon on the Mount now. I'm probably be posting some other videos as well, just getting some stuff out there for you guys. But yeah, man, I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Thank you so much. God bless you, and happy Sunday. Peace.